Attention! The following video is intended for viewers over the age of 13. Viewers under the age of 13 should watch this video accompanied by a parent. How's it going, old schoolers? You are kicking it old school. I'm your host, Dr. Old School. The date is now December 30th, 2019. Happy New Year in advance. This is going to be the last video I make for 2019. I'm very excited about the new year coming up because it is a time where, I've said it before, where we could all start over from scratch, set new goals in our lives, and, try to make things happen or make things happen. But, one of the things I wanted to touch on, I wanted to do a video about a subject. One of the things I'm hoping to do is probably get together with some old buddies and form a punk, a band that's kind of fused with old style punk and old style heavy metal. And one of the things I wanted to bring up is what we'll play for cover songs. And I was looking at what I have here, some literature that I had collected over the years. Those who, if you can remember, if you were a musician and you were learning how to play guitar when you were in your early teens, one of the things you might remember is tab books of all your favorite bands and their albums to learn how to play all your favorite songs. Funny thing is, I can remember buying those tab books when I was younger. And those tab books, they weren't cheap. They were not cheap at all. I mean, you were sometimes paying $18.95 a book and sometimes $20 or higher, depending on who the artist was and what the book was. But one of the things that, I've been doing, I've been learning some of my favorite songs. Now, when it comes to, my favorite bands like Nirvana and Guns N' Roses and AC/DC, I like to go to the deep cuts. Not the hits, the deep cuts. I mean, I always thought if you're going to play covers in a band, why do the hits? I mean, everybody hears the hits every day. They play the hits, whether it's newer music, pop music, country music, classic rock. They play the same hits every day in the same rotation as 75 or more songs 3 times a day on the radio. So I'm going to show you the books that I'm going to learn covers out of, and I'm going to show you the books where, when I construct songs again like I used to do, how some of the bands inspire me to make my own music. Right here are the books. I'm going to show you the books that I'm going to go ahead and learn covers out of. As you can see, you have Foo Fighters Guitar Tab Anthology, Best of Nirvana, Pantera Guitar Anthology Series, Metallica Garage Inc., and Ramones Guitar Anthology Series. What I'm going to do, though, is I already mastered Blitzkrieg Bop and Last Caress out of Metallica Garage Inc., and, that's pretty much, Metallica Garage Inc., I mean, that's pretty much the only Metallica album that inspires me to play because they do a lot of old metal and punk covers. And I'm also gonna do the one thing. I mean, the thing about these books was, back in the 90s, kids today don't know the struggle of learning your favorite songs. We had to get Guitar World magazine or Guitar magazine, or we had to buy these books. Nowadays, you could download the sheet music for free off the internet and print it out. Which, come on, man, that's kind of lazy. Do it the old school way. Now, the 2 books that I have right here where I will be learning how to construct my own music, I have right here the Best of AC/DC and Black Sabbath, We Sold Our Souls for Rock and Roll. Now, the only time I'm probably going to download sheet music and have it printed out is there's some certain bands that never printed out any songbooks. Like L7, and of course the Misfits, bands like that. And what I want to do is, And I don't think System of a Down has a songbooks, because I definitely want to play Chop Suey, and I want to play Whatever by Godsmack. But here's the thing about these tab books. Like this Black Sabbath one costs $19.95. I can remember, before I was of job age, I remember, when I wanted a guitar book, my dad used to say, you want something? Work for it, So before I was of job age, I used to do things like mow the yard and rake up the, clippings of the grass, rake the leaves, clean my room. And, I would find out, from people from church, like, oh, somebody's going to pay you $20 to dog sit. What you do is go over their house, and what you do is, spend time with their dog, and, make sure he goes to the bathroom, make sure he eats, and that was easy money right there. And, that's before I was of job age, or I was washing my dad's car. I was mowing the yard and cleaning my room and straightening up the house. And before that, it was just G.I. Joes and Nintendo games. And I would basically, my dad would say, okay, let's go get a couple G.I. Joes, because you went ahead and pulled the weeds in the yard this weekend. You kept your room up. But then again, son, what's the latest Nintendo game that's popular? And he would teach me how to save money so I could have things like Nintendo games. And it was the same thing with these books, and the same thing with buying CDs and cassettes and video movies, which for many years I have always had an extensive movie collection and music collection for over 30 years. Even when I was 9 years old listening to Kiss, Van Halen, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, whatever was popular in the late 1980s, and Motley Crue. And my mother was a bit concerned, but as I got older, I got back into that stuff again. But yeah, I wanted to show you what one of my plans for 2020 is. I reconnected with an old friend I haven't seen since middle school, who I last remember played drums in a band. See if he might be interested, and some guys that I might remember that I know from high school. See if they're interested in getting together, and we'll do like we'll rehearse a string of covers, and we'll go ahead and plot out some gigs and just gig around. But I just wanted to go ahead and correspond with you before 2019 ends that this is going to be the final video of 2019, and I can't wait to see what 2020 has in store for us. One of the things about New Year's, I never really appreciated it until I got older. You get to start over from scratch, you did things that were good, but maybe in the new year, we can make them better. We can make them greater. And if, we failed at something, we could try and accomplish it this year. But, there's a lot I have brewing. Today I'm very happy. I'll tell you about a start of something new and fresh. Over a month ago, I decided to go ahead and get a checking account with a credit union down here in Florida, which helps you build your credit and everything like that better than a bank. And I couldn't just go ahead and close my checking account with the bank I was with because I owed from overdrafts from my checking account. And lo and behold, Friday, when I went to go cash my check, I brought $20 back to my old bank as a sign of good faith that I'm going to pay those overdrafts. Get it out of the way, get it taken care of. And lo and behold, when I put my card in the ATM, I found out that there was $254 in that checking account. I couldn't believe my luck. I was wondering what was going on because there was nothing. It was like negative, 139. And then I went into the bank and I asked what was up, and they checked my info. And come to find out that the equity company that financed me my car, they went ahead and deposited $400 some into my checking account, and of course the bank took their cut to pay off, my debt. And today I went ahead and I closed the account and I took the money that was left in there because I had to go ahead and pay back another place that I owed money to and get that out of the way. And what happened was I went ahead, closed the account, and I took what monies were left in that account and I deposited it into the savings account of my credit union. And one of the things I have planned for is, come sometime in January. Yeah, I got a pimple right there under my nose. Yay. But come January, I'm going to go ahead and put money into the savings. I'm going to start putting money into that savings account, as stow away as much as I humanly can. And I'm also going to open a secondary savings account for my daughter. She's going to be 9 years old, and what I'm going to do is every paycheck, I'm going to put $10 into that account for her. And when it comes to her birthdays and Christmas until she's 18, I'll also put an additional $20 in that account. Take care of my daughter. That way she's set. She'll be set for a while. She can, she can go ahead and take care of things, maybe pay for college or whatever she wants to do, buy a new car, buy a house. But, there's a lot that I have brewing. And like I said, I'm trying to learn how to use a digital camera. So, there's a lot going on. I just wanted to go ahead and, in advance, wish you all a Happy New Year. Godspeed. May the Force be with you always, and see you next year.